The subject of the passage that we have just read is of one of the most sacred remembrances, of one of the most sacred events in all of history. Yet it was for this sacred remembrance that the Apostle Paul has to now correct one of the vilest sins in the church at Corinth. This sacred remembrance was the Lord's table. Paul has been commending them in previous verses because they had kept the ordinances that he had delivered to them to keep. But when it came to the Lord's table, you read what he says of them in verse 17 of this chapter. Now in this I declare unto you, I praise you not, that you come not together for the better, but for the worse. Paul had been told what was happening in the church at Corinth when they were coming together for the Lord's table. You see that he had been told that in verse 18. But they're said to have divisions amongst themselves. It is a recurring issue for the church at Corinth. It was the first thing that Paul dealt with in the church all the way back in chapter 1 of this epistle. But now, this spirit of division is found at the event to remember the Lord's death. We will see that this sin in the church had led to severe consequences. And if this sin is not corrected, it may very well lead to the end of the church at Corinth. But we have to be aware of a great danger as well when we come to a passage like this, because we're going to look at and read of the sin at the church at Corinth. And it is